Stoddard with Cruising Yachts here in Marina del Rey, and I'd like to invite you to take a brief tour of our newest Jeanneau, the 379, a 37-footer that's packed with great gear and great accommodations, and very fast and able and stiff sailing vessel. I'd like to start with the underbody here. Notice the very deep rudder, and it includes the high aspect ratio that allows for great maneuverability. Maneuverability has a great deal to do with the distance between the rudder and the keel, and in this case, as you can see, it's pretty apparent you're going to have a real sports car feel to it. The sail drive unit does a number of important things. First of all, it straightens up the propeller so that it's pushing the boat forward rather than when on a drive shaft it's trying to push the boat up as well as forward, and it wastes a lot of power and efficiency with that. It also can be placed farther forward where the engineers like it. It's easy to locate that, and of course it has far less drag than a conventional prop shafts. Propeller shafts hydrodynamically have a terrible amount of drag, and this cuts that down. It's more an expensive solution, but it's the right thing for a boat that you're going to move up to. If you have a look at the keel, I call it a torpedo keel, but you can see with the keel shape we can really get the center of gravity of that keel way down into that bulb. So for the same amount of ballast, we have far greater stability. These boats are known as being very stiff, amongst the stiffest of the production boats that you can find. So you still have a very nice foil shape, lower center of gravity, stiffer boat, greater sail carrying ability, and that equals speed. If we go forward, you can see characteristics of the Philippe Briand design, which includes the plumb bow, and of course, because we use two-part molds, you get a real cove stripe, and the port lights are in the mold also. It's better for quality control. As we run aft, you can see the bustle chine that he's also noted for, and again, it provides a great deal of stability. People are surprised, but when you sail this boat in a breeze, the boat heels and that chine kicks in and you just stop heeling. It's pretty impressive and fun to sail. Again, it gives you a better running surface, a little more room on the interior and the cockpit and so forth as well because of that. So a beautiful boat. The profile, the cabin top and so forth gets a lot of positive comment and attention wherever you sail these boats. So let's go up to the cockpit. Welcome aboard the new Jeanneau 379 and a wonderful cockpit. First thing you'll notice is the transom door with the swim step, and immediately forward is the dedicated life raft locker. Of course, most people put their fins and such there. I have a couple of large lazarette, ones for the propane, and then a couple of outboard seating areas where the helmsman can steer well outboard and keep a good eye on the luff of the jib while he steers. With the twin helm layout, which is really nice on a 37-footer, it's expensive to do. Most 37s will only have one helm, and which will occupy the center of the cockpit. The Harken winches are brought all the way back to the helmsman, easy reach with the clutches. You can operate individually. It's very handy if you want to lead the main sheet aft as well as the jib sheet. Also notice our Simrad electronics. They've really been coming on strong, providing a very competitive product in the market. And they've done some research, some testing. They happen to be quite intuitive, particularly to Mac users and smartphone users. And the reliability and the quality of these electronics is terrific. We've got our autopilot control and full instrumentation, of course. and all very conveniently located. Moving forward, our cockpit table is wonderful. I like the design with the bars going all the way around. You have a handrail, you've also got effectively a kick plate, and then beautifully finished table with plenty of storage for ice and wine, beer, whatever you like. So it's a wonderful, comfortable cockpit, the way that it's laid out. I think you'll enjoy sailing it. It certainly makes it easy to sail because everything is so well positioned, and with the running rigging led back to the cockpit and to the helmsman. So easy boat to sail by yourself. So let's have a look forward. Beautiful clean deck on this boat makes it easy to get around, easy to sail. The windlass is recessed in the sail locker, so it's completely flush forward. The hatches are all flush mounted, and then we have this wonderful eyebrow detail with the recessed handrail, giving that very distinctive Jeanneau look to the boat. With everything else led under deck, coming back to our cabin top winches, so that we can set and control the sails from here as well. So let's go down below and have a look. Welcome to the main salon of the beautiful Jeanneau 379. A couple of features about the construction. First, the layout. We have a wonderful large dinette with a settee across. The table can be expanded for use there. Plenty of room for your wine bottles here, just so you know that's a French boat. The paneling people ask about, it's called Alpi. It's a type of marine plywood, and they plantation grow hardwoods in Africa. They peel them and make a plywood out of them. They claim to be the strongest marine plywood ever developed. And it's trimmed. This is all African pearwood on the trim. And they can control the grain with this process, and they get a nice effect. It's also extremely durable. You'll never have to deal with the interior finish of this boat. Lots of cabinetry on both sides, convenient handrails, recessed in the overhead as well. As we move back to the galley, we've got a beautiful double stainless sink, very large reefer. It's quite deep with a nice freezer compartment. Double lockers, built-in microwave, beautiful stainless sink, or stove rather, with double burners, and even a nice convenient trash receptacle. Just to finish with the nav station, we've got a nice electrical panel. They've reduced the number of switches, combine them, and we have a we can check our batteries and our tank gauges on there as well. Then we have a stereo, and also a place where you can plug in your iPods and that sort of a thing as well. Stereo speakers and a nice light. Good handrails. These are leather wrapped with the upgrade package that we include. You've got the splash guard and so forth. So it makes a nice, comfortable, functional main salon and galley and nav area. The head on this boat features a separate shower, not common on 37 footers. Very nice sink and vanity, opening hatches and port lights, and just full enclosure for the shower. It's really, really nice. After the shower is the locker, a very large locker. It's separate from the seat locker above it. But a great place to put dinghies and sailbags, and doubles as a timeout room for the kids. The aft cabin features a particularly large berth, plenty of cabinet spaces, and for an aft cabin it's very light and roomy with plenty of port lights, hatches, and so forth to keep you comfortable. Hanging locker, etc. The forward cabin features a very large double V-berth, shelving alongside, nice hanging space, and a flush hatch over. The engine room has a very neat, clean installation with access from the front, the side, and the back, and very accessible. Smooth running Yanmars. The engineers like the Yanmars because they have a slightly smaller footprint, and the marketing guys like the Yanmars because they don't leak. You don't get a lot of diesel odor out of them, and the buyers like them because they're so reliable. Thanks for joining us on our tour of the pretty Jeanneau 379. Come down and see for yourself at Cruising Yachts here in the Marina del Rey at 13505 Bali Way, B-A-L-I Way. I'm Buzz Stoddard. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the water.